been good enough to follow us through this little series know that in each preceding episode, we have confined ourselves to explaining the use of one particular club or the playing of one particular shot. Now we're going to try to put together for you a complete round of golf in order to show you the relation of one club to the other. Of course, we shall have to take certain liberties in order to cover in 10 minutes on the screen what would ordinarily require 2.5 to 3 hours in the playing. But O.B. Keeler will escort you around the course, and I will step in here and there to explain a shot which I think may be interesting.
Well, here's a typical Saturday afternoon four-ball match on the first tee. One pair have driven. That was Bobby's partner. And here comes Bobby. He rather likes to drive last in a pair. He likes to see what his partner's done. But I don't think he's going to take any chances with this shot. No, he gave it a ride. He looks pleased. And there they go on a round of golf. Well, that was a good drive. It was out in front, but he's still got a big shot left, and I don't think he's going to reach the green with this one. He's got the heavy artillery, the old brassy, and he hit that one, but he's not home yet. I think he's got about a mashie-niblick shot left. Yes, it's a mashie-niblick pitch. The ball's in the air. It's coming down, it's on the green, and it's rolling up where he can kick it in for a birdie 4. Tell us how you did that, Bob.
Whenever I'm able to use anything like a full swing, I play a mashie-niblick in a perfectly straightforward way. That is, I make no effort to cut across the ball in order to stop it quickly. Notice that the club turns over normally after striking the ball, and that no effort has been made to keep the face open. A putt of about 12 feet. This view shows my putting grip with both thumbs down the shaft and the overlap reversed. Watch the left wrist and notice that it yields to the stroke as the club comes through. When this wrist locks fast, it means trouble.
It looks as if a birdie isn't much good in this game. Mr. Jones and partner still driving last. Well, of course, it's just possible they may have been giving up a couple of strokes. It's a long ways to that green, and that looks a bit high. Big iron coming up. And here she comes. How about that, Bob?
In this shot, I think the position at the top reveals a lot. The left arm is perfectly straight, and its full extension has made the arc of the swing very wide. The hips have turned full around, the wrists are cocked, and the hands are high. Each one of these factors means more power in the stroke. And notice that even when playing an iron, I use quite a long backswing.
If you're smart, you'll never look at a regular shot from this angle. Boy, I'd hate to have to duck many like that one. Uh-oh, in a bunker, his pet shot. They ought to give him that one.
I always play this shot with the face of my niblick laid off a bit, just to provide a factor of safety. There's plenty of wrist action in the stroke, and when the blade takes the sand back of the ball, the head of the club is doing most of the work. I like to fling the club head at the ball to avoid the shock which I feel if I grip too tightly.
Well, let's see. Did they give it to him? Yep, but I think he could have made it anyway with two hands. Must have shoved this drive out a bit, or else they moved the trees around in front of the ball. Another niblick shot. This has to go up fast and come down fast. We can see it better from here. There she comes, right over the trees, a high, steep pitch with lots of backspin. Didn't roll much, did it?
Although this shot has to be elevated very quickly, the stroke is still downward, as you can tell by watching the turf fly. It is fatal to try to lift a shot like this. In putting, I think it helps to stand comfortably with the feet close together and the knees relaxed. I like to feel that my body is free to move if there should be the least need for it. I never like to hold it as in a vise. Of course, this putt is in slow motion. but I think the whole thing, the movement of the ball even, conveys just the impression I like to have before me, of the club sweeping the ball slowly across a fast green.
Here's a one-shot hole, and Bobby is using a number 4 iron off the tee. 165 yards and 5 seconds in the air, and here's the ball on the green. Looks easy enough.
In playing a shot like this, when I'm not hitting very hard, I have to be very careful of the left arm to see that it does not relax before impact. A full cock of the left wrist at the top of the swing helps me to do this.
And here's a mean one, a 40-foot putt with a double break. And it was a putt almost exactly like this one that Bobby holed on the last green in winning the 1930 Open Championship of the United States at Interlaken. Well, maybe it wasn't as tough as this one. This ball seems to slide up the hill before it starts to slide down. And he hit it just a bit too high. It's not quite going to make it, but it's awfully close.
This is a full drive, and I want you to notice the length of the backswing. The club passes well beyond the horizontal at the top of the stroke. I like to tee the ball fairly high and hit it squarely in the back. I find that I get more length in this way than I do if I tee the ball lower and hit it down. Sometimes from short distances, a little pitch and run shot with a mashie is far safer than a pitch. In playing this shot, the backswing should be comparatively long, and the ball should be swept along the ground.
The drive from the last tee, and Bobby needs a big wallop here. He gave it all he had. It's a long hole, 500 yards. That looks as if it's a little more than halfway there, but he'll still need a big brassy shot if he's going to get home. I wonder how the match stands. Here's the old brassy.
In playing a brassy, the most common mistake is to try to lift the ball into the air. This view shows the hips shifting forward as the downstroke begins, and the weight settling on the left leg at the finish. The speed of the ball and the loft of the club should be trusted to make the shot rise.
And here she comes. Can you see the ball? Going over the bunker, onto the green. That brassy shot was exactly 243 yards, and the ball is just a yard from the stick. That is, it's a yard if some opponent doesn't sink one of these long putts, and this man looks as if he's going to have a good try for it. You know how a long putt will stretch your own out after the ball is in the can. He's taking a lot of pains. All right, let's have it. There goes the ball, and it looks like a good putt. Ouch! Now Bobby will have to sink his sure for a half. Now this chap, it doesn't matter whether he sinks it or not. Bobby's partner is out, picked up, but he's going to try just as hard as he can anyway. A little short. Now, Bobby, this is important. Down she goes. The round is over, and a pleasant time was had by all.
Well, I guess that's all. But I would like to say just a few more words before we go. The main title of this series has been How I Play Golf. This title was chosen carefully, and it was intended to mean something. For while I've tried to explain the methods which I employ in playing the various shots, I do not mean to insist that these methods are the only ones, or even that they are the best. But I do think that there are certain fundamentals which are the same for all golfers. And in making my explanations, I have tried to separate these fundamentals from mannerisms which might be peculiar to my own individual style, in order that what I had to say might be of general application. The average golfer is not interested in winning championships. The chief benefits of the game for him must be recreation and the companionship of congenial friends. But it seems to me that that is little excuse for playing the game in a haphazard way. I've always thought that if a game was worth playing at all, it was worth making some effort to play it correctly.